Hi guys, welcome back. So today I'm going to teach you guys about how to connect a source to your ancestor, or in other words, these little blue icons on your family tree, or here on the home page. So I'm going to go back to the tree. What a source is, let me explain what a source is. A source is pretty much a birth certificate, death certificate, marriage record, census, which is what the government does every 10 years. They go through and figure out who all lives in the country and write it all down of who lives in the country. Um, Back in the day, they used to go door to door and knock on the door, be like, who's the head of the household and what is everybody's name and their age, and write that all down. So sometimes also what their education is and stuff like that, what their job was when they immigrated over. So you can get a lot of good information off of census. But also you have to be kind of a little relaxed when you're doing census because spelling could be wrong or the dates of birth can be off just by a little bit. Same with immigration because they got to remember when they immigrated. And sometimes they just ask sometimes they ask how old you are and then do the calculation of the estimate about when you were born, so, or when your ancestor was born. So give or take a few years, give or take the spelling, just because back in the day we weren't all precise on things. Also, sometimes they went to neighbors and was like, hey, what is the kid's name? And got nicknames, middle names, whatever name, I don't know. Estimate on age and birthday. So be a little lenient when it comes to census, but generally with marriage, births, deaths, draft records, those are more precise. So, but still be a little lenient on those, okay? So let's attach a source. So you can do this in several different ways. You can click on the little blue icon right here, and it will tell you what the source is. In this case for Thomas, it is a marriage record. And we can go show details, and it'll pull up this little personal page for Thomas and say, oh look, there's some possible duplicate problems with him. And then down here in the blue is that source. The other way you can do this is you can click on Thomas's name, click on his name again to go to his personal page. And now that you are here at his personal page, over here on the right side will be the records. You can click on the record and scroll down and review the summary and attach. Now that you've clicked review and attach, it should bring you up to this source page. We'll come back to this in a second. The other way you can see things is click show details, which once again brings you back to this page that we saw earlier of pretty much all the information you need to know about Thomas. Some data, some possible duplicates of children he has, his birth and death information, parents, spouse, which is kind of good to review if you have multiple, good to have for reviewing if you have multiple sources to attach. So once again, we can go over here and go review and attach, and it will bring us up to the source, or attaching the source. So here on the left side, I hope I didn't lose you guys on that. That was a lot of roundabout ways to get to this spot. But anyway, let's go on to attaching this source. Over here on the right side, we have all the information we have on Thomas and Elizabeth on our tree. So this will pretty much be all the information that we have on our tree. Over here is the information that is on the source. In this case, the England marriage records. And they have a Thomas, and that's pretty much it. Let's see what's on the compare on Elizabeth. There we go. There's more information. So we have Elizabeth and her maiden name Andrews. We have, once again on our tree, Elizabeth and her maiden name Andrews. says her marriage was on the marriage census, not census, source. It says her marriage was in 1750 in England. We actually have July 22nd, 1750 in England. And yeah, so that probably is more than likely her because we have the right names and the right marriage date in place. Granted, those are kind of common names. So if there is information that you want to add over, you can just click add, and now this information will be added onto her page. Or you can click undo, and then that information won't be added onto their page. In this case, I'm not going to add it because we already have our marriage written down 1, 2, 3 times. And all 3 times, we have more information than that source does. But if you want to add it again, you can. And I'm going to make sure all these check boxes are checked so that this will be added to her page and will be easier to find on her personal page. And now I'm going to explain my reason for attaching. Okay, so I have typed in here, there's the same info, so that's how I know it's hers, and that I want the source to be attached to her page to prove that this is the correct marriage date. So I hit attach, and now that source will be attached to her personal page. While we're here, we can actually compare for Thomas, and it's just already filled out the same information that we typed before and clicked all the checkbox that we have clicked or unclicked. So yeah, so now we can just go over and attach, and it'll be attached to Thomas's personal page and Elizabeth's page. Man, I cannot say names there for a moment. So let's go to Thomas's page. So now we're here at Thomas's page, and we can scroll down, and right here at the top is this marriage record that we just attached. And we can go down and see more about that marriage record. So that's kind of cool and fun. I'm going to show you guys one more time how to connect a source. Just in case if you need to add a new person. So we'll jump to that clip here in a second. Here we are on a Charles Fezzi or Fezzi. Not sure how you would want to say that or pronounce that. For our family tree, or my family tree, we have an about for his birthday, but on the census here, let me scroll up, on the England Wales census, 1871 census, it actually has his birthday, and it actually has the same place. We can also check out his wife, Elizabeth. I know it has her married name, and we have our maiden name, so don't really worry about that. Same place for birth, about for birthday. So we're going to check William, their son. Same birthday, place, and date. So I would say this is them because all the names are the same and places are the same. Dates are off a little bit. That's because apparently in modern day times we don't know what their birth is. But now we do. So we once again are just going to slide this information over because we don't have that on his personal tree. Reason attaching. So I just put similar info and also has, because the info is similar, and also we have proof of his birthday and place. Oh, and residency later on. Okay, there we go. And residency later in life. So we're going to hit attach and do the same for his wife. Slide the information over, make sure all the check boxes are checked, and add. Now we're going to do the same for their child, William. Slide information over and attach. Actually, I could put same info there. So why I brought this one up is there's missing kids. Also, what I could have done is I can slide these over. So let's say there was an Elizabeth right here, not right here. I could pick up Elizabeth and slide her over to that person. So you just pick up and drag and match them to whatever person you want to. or you can add a new person if there isn't a person to attach to. So let's add an Elizabeth. So we're clicked add. And what's going on in Family Search is they're pulling up every Elizabeth that could possibly match our Elizabeth. Which looks like it came up with quite a few. So we have an Elizabeth with the same parent's name, an Elizabeth with an about birthday. That's what these arrows mean sometimes, is an about birthday. And a place, which does not quite match ours, but it does match what her parents and her sibling had. And then same parent's name. Ooh, maiden name too. Sweet. So that's probably her. And we can go scroll through and check all these other ones. If you don't find a match, you can do create a new person. You just click that down there at the bottom. Or I did. And it is plugging in all the information that was in the sense over here into the new person, so you don't have to type it. Amazing. Sometimes you will have to click deceased. In this case, I don't have to because Family Search has realized that this person is more than likely dead. This person lived over 110 years ago. Almost 160, 70 years ago. No, 60. Oh no, math. I could plug in a death date and place, but I don't know that because the census hasn't told me that. Because that's the future for the census. But it's okay to leave it blank. And then I could click create a new person and it would create a new person. But in this case, I'm actually going to connect Elizabeth to somebody I saw. So I'm going to go back here to review possible duplicates. And I'm going to connect her to this Elizabeth because she has the same birthplace as her other family members did, even though the census doesn't say so. And she has the same names as her parents and about birthday. So I'm going to go with this one. And I'm going to click select. And now it has plugged her in and connected her to this family tree. Amazing. Nice. So I just have to slide in the events over and attach. Now we can do the same for Thomas and Alfred. So I clicked add. It is going through a Thomas that is similar on the family tree on Family Search. And I would say this is probably him because we have a similar birth date. Place. We don't know this because the census doesn't tell us. And the same parent's name. So I can click select. Now he's connected and we can attach this source to him. Super easy. Sometimes you'll actually get a new person, which will be fun and cool too. Oh, like in this case. So let me hit cancel and do it again. So we were on Alfred and I clicked add and immediately it just plugged in all this information, meaning Family Search couldn't find anybody on the whole entire record system that would match or came up close to matching him. So it just immediately was like, okay, there's no way, we can't find anybody. Let's create a new person. It made me allowed to create a new person. Just plugged it all the information in for me. Sweet. Now I have a new person on Family Search. Saving people one at a time. Okay. Sorry. Got a little excited. So it plugged in all the information. I don't even have to click deceased. So we're going to create a new person. Yay. Now this family can be together. So I have just now created a new person, whereas Elizabeth and Thomas, we connected them to another tree that already existed on Family Search and made a big giant tree. Whereas Alfred wasn't even on Family Search. So we added a totally new person onto Family Search. Sweet. Slide that information over, hit attach. Now just for bonus, because Alfred was totally a new person, we can click on him, click on his name again, and it should pull up to the page that his personal page. Okay, it pulled us up to his personal page. We can click ordinances and request ordinances. Sweet, touching. And now I can request ordinances for him because we added a new person. I hope this video was helpful, and if you guys have any questions, please comment below. If you have any suggestions on what I should film next, please also comment that below. I'll get back to you guys as soon as I can on those comment section. And yeah, I hope you all have a beautiful week. See you next time. Bye.